Hey, it's BrickTsar. In this video we're going to be looking at seeing if we can whiten the whites here on these vintage Lego sets. Now, I wanted to do these and I'm taking a risk here, I guess, because these are printed pieces. I don't think what I'm going to do is going to affect the printed pieces, but we have some yellowed white pieces here on this ambulance and on this transport truck. So we're going to take all the whites off. I'm going to separate them. I may put the blues in another container as well, because those are discolored, and we're going to see the difference. Here's an example of the blues. I don't know if it shows up, how well it shows up here on this video. But the blues, those are dirty at least. At the very least, they're dirty. I'm not going to worry about the blacks as much. So I'll set those off to the side. I got a printed piece here as well. But these have just seen better days. They're not the worst I've seen, these blues, but it's mainly the whites, especially like these doors. So we're going to put them in hydrogen peroxide and let them sit in the sun for a few days and see what happens. And so I'm going to separate all the whites and I'll put them in one container. And just so you know where I really got this idea and who should get all of the credit is Alex Nunez. He was the first one that did a tutorial that I have seen on YouTube about it. There have been other tutorials made since, but if you look, you know, his was one of the first, if not the first, that showed this method. So I am going to attempt it myself. And if I recall, it's been a few months since I watched his tutorial, and I wanted to wait till summertime, but we've had some sunny days here in the winter. I think he said something about the blues. It doesn't work as well with the blues. I have to go back and rewatch his tutorial. It may even discolor my blues. That's why I'm worried about those logos. So I'll just check it from day to day. If I start seeing something going wrong with the logos, then I'll just take them out on those fish doors. But I'm going to put, I don't know if it's going to do any good putting these plates in here like this. I'll leave the clear ones out. And he said, Alex said that the reason that this happens, they get this discoloring, is because of the fire retardant that they use on the Lego plastics. I don't really know, but that sounded like a good explanation to me. So anyway, there's two sets that I'm taking apart here. This ambulance, and see, these are, yeah, these aren't stickers, they're printed pieces, so I'm hoping it doesn't have any detrimental effect on them, but we will see. These need to be cleaned at the very least anyway. So if it ruins them, then I'm just out some vintage stuff. But like I said, I'm going to check from day to day to make sure that the printing is not coming off. I don't think it will. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to set these in the sunlight for several days. And you'll be able to see, I don't think when I reviewed this you couldn't see this base plate, but it is horribly yellowed. This is one of these special base plates. Let's see if I can get it where you can see it. You see how discolored that is? So that's the main thing. Oh, now I'm going to have to get it in there somehow. I may put these in a different container when I get them out there. And these aren't too bad. I'm not going to worry about the wheel holders there. And there we go. So we'll go outside now. So basically we're going to be using hydrogen peroxide. Now I have some in this other container. Actually, I should get one with a clear lid. This is actually some that I already used. You can reuse it, I do believe. But we're going to dump it in here. Had a little bit left in these bottles. And just let it soak for several days. And it's got to have the light. According to Alex, it reverses the process that caused it yellow when you mix it with the hydrogen peroxide. So This really doesn't work unless it gets good source of ultraviolet light. Now fluorescent lights are a source of ultraviolet light, but the sun is even stronger. So I'm going to let them soak in there. I'm going to dump these out from this container. This is not water, it's hydrogen peroxide. And you want to make sure you have the elements completely covered, because if they stick out of the H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, then it will you don't want to have it prolonged exposure to your skin. If you can gargle this stuff, you can touch it with your fingers, not going to kill you. But don't, anyway, follow all the guidelines on the box. I mean, I guess I should you should take that into account, kids. It says you can use it on scrapes and burns and things like that. Do not apply to eyes or over large areas of the body longer than a week. And you can actually gargle this stuff, so anyway, but don't if you don't need to, or if you're a kid. Just use common sense. So you've been warned. See, this piece right here is so long that part of it's sticking out. So what I'll have to do is from time to time come in here and push these down so that some of them don't get a part of it that's not being actually in the H2O2, hydrogen peroxide. So this is day one, as I lose focus, and we'll follow up and see how these look. And I've already reviewed both of these, so we'll be able to do an after comparison. And I put the lids on them so that in case they get knocked over or something, but I can shake them up too. So hopefully my printing won't come off of my printed pieces. Alright, this is day 2. Got them in the bright sunshine. The weather has been cooperating. I actually added another container here. This has parts for a Canada Post truck. They're not all period correct, but they were looking pretty bad, so I'm going to see if this at least makes them look better. Some of them had some nicks on them, bite marks or something, I don't know. And I didn't realize it till after I put the lid back on, but this blue container, the lid was laying way over there, and I realized what happened was, as it sat here in the heat, air must have built up with the change in the temperature, and it just popped the lid right off. It was kind of funny. I wish I'd seen it actually do that. But anyway, that's day 2. Alright, this is day 4. I'm starting to notice some change in the coloring, especially on the white plates. Okay, now I forgot what day this is. I think it's like 7. Day 5, it was sunny, and then we had a couple other days. This might be day 8, I can't even remember, but it's been overcast or very windy. Oh, I know what it was. Day 5, it was sunny, but it was so windy. See how some of the furniture's blown over still? I was afraid to leave these out all day because I was afraid the table might blow over, the wind might just blow the cups over. So these have not been in the sun all this time, but I think it's getting close enough. I would like to leave them a little longer, but I think it's close enough to do it. Now this one's been out here all day. These two were already, I think, to the point where it's okay for me to take them out so you don't see any bubbles in there, whereas this one's got the bubbles from where it's been out in the heat. Yeah, the 40-degree heat. Alright, here is the results of my whitening of my whites here. We got set 375, which we've already reviewed, and the set 338, which we've already reviewed, and so we can compare these to pictures from the review, and there is a really big improvement. And this was a learning process for me. I wanted to experiment with some things based on the tutorial I watched from Alex Nunez, and it is not a good idea to leave the blues in too much with this process, and it can damage them. And it also, I guess it's dependent on what years these blues came. Did fade the logos a little bit on the doors, and I don't know if you can see, but some of the blues got real white. I may I don't know if I can scrape that off or not, but I think, yeah, my headlights and some of the blues, it did not work. But the whites, a big improvement. Big improvement. So we'll just turn around and let you see the other side. Because I remember one of the doors on the transport truck was almost, it looked really bad. Now I can't even remember which door it was. So I think it really worked. It was a total of about 7 or 8 days in the hydrogen peroxide, with about 5 of those days outside in the sunlight. And I didn't want to really do this in the wintertime. We did have some above normal temperature days, so I went ahead and did it. But I think this would work better in the summer, where you can put it in the sun for longer in the hydrogen peroxide. But I'm just really pleased with how things. Oh man, I built this wrong. We got to have a BBI even in an episode where I'm not even supposed to be really building anything, huh? This door goes here. Even the stretcher is wider. But I mainly did the blues and the whites from these 2 sets. Also did another set that I hadn't reviewed yet. And on the ambulance, there are this brick here. Still probably could have used more time in the sun. And let's see. Yeah, this other one here. A couple of my 1x8s probably needed a little more time. And now I don't know if this door, I don't know if that damage was on there before or not. So just be careful with the printed pieces. If you can avoid putting them in there, probably would be a good idea. But overall, I'm pleased with how things turned out on these 2 sets, especially the transport truck. I mean, it's just a big difference to me. So anyway, that is the results of my applying the suggestions from the Alex Nunez tutorial on cleaning or whitening your whites. And again, does not work as well with the darker colors, but whites and grays, you should be fine. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like it. Go check out the reviews if you want to see the difference between what we got here now and what I had when I reviewed it, as my cat knocks over my camera. So anyway, thanks for watching. She's always knocking stuff over. Go check out the piano smash videos, see what I'm talking about. Catch you in the next video. It's BrickTsar.